You're 91?
I'm 91.
You have a successor in place?
We have a successor in place.
The time has arrived where Greg should become the chief executive officer of the company at year-end.
បន្ទាប់ពីគ្រប់គ្រងក្រុមហ៊ុន Berkshire Hathaway ជាង5ទសវត្សរ៍មកលោក Warren Buffett បានប្រកាសចូលនិវត្តន៍ពីតំណែងជា CEO យ៉ាងយូរចុងឆ្នាំ2025ក្នុងកិច្ចប្រជុំម្ចាស់ភាគហ៊ុនខែឧសភាថ្មីៗនេះបើទោះជាគាត់ចាក់ចេញពីតំណែងដើម្បីចូលនិវត្តន៍ក៏ដោយគោលការណ៍ស្នូលចំនួន3នៃការវិនិយោគដែលផ្ដួចផ្ដើមចេញពីរូបលោកផ្ទាល់នៅតែបន្តដុះដាលនិងអនុវត្តដដែលក្នុងក្រុមហ៊ុនមួយនេះនៅក្នុងវីដេអូនេះយើងនឹងនិយាយពីគោលការណ៍ស្នូលទាំង3របស់លោក Warren Buffett ក្នុងការវិនិយោគក្នុងផ្សារភាគហ៊ុនដែលជួយគាត់កសាងក្រុមហ៊ុន Berkshire ឲ្យក្លាយជាក្រុមហ៊ុនមានតម្លៃរាប់រយលានដុល្លារមិនថាយើងជាអ្នកវិនិយោគថ្មីចាស់ឬទើបតែស្គាល់ពីផ្សារមូលបត្រនោះទេគោលការណ៍ស្នូលទាំង3នេះអាចជាផែនទីបង្ហាញផ្លូវរបស់យើងទៅថ្ងៃអនាគតបានគោលការណ៍ទី1ទិញអាជីវកម្មមិនមែនភាគហ៊ុន
In 1942, 80 years ago, I took $114.75, every penny I'd saved, and I bought 3 shares of City Service Preferred. When I was 11, I picked stocks. I had the whole wrong idea. I was interested in watching stocks, and I thought stocks were things that went up and down, and I charted them. I read books on technical analysis. I read Edwards and McGee. I think that was the classic then. Hundreds and hundreds of pages. And I read that whole thing over and over again. I read Garfield, Drew, I read everything. And I thought the first 8 years, I thought the important thing was to predict what a stock would do and predict the stock market. And then I read Ben Graham, when I was 19 or 20. And I realized that I was doing it exactly the wrong way. But it didn't hurt that I had that background and everything. And I rejiggered my mind and when I read the book, The Intelligent Investor. And from that point, I never bought another stock. I bought businesses that happened to be publicly traded. But I became an owner of a business. And I did not care whether a stock went up or down the next day or the next week or the next month or the next year. And I didn't have any idea what it would do. I didn't know what the stock market would do, but I knew businesses.
សម្ដីរបស់គាត់ក្នុងคลิปនេះគឺជំរុញឲ្យវិនិយោគិនផ្លាស់ប្ដូរគំនិតពីការមើលភាគហ៊ុនគ្រាន់តែជានិមិត្តសញ្ញានៅលើអេក្រង់ក្នុងផ្សារជួញដូរមូលបត្រត្រូវមើលវាជាភាគហ៊ុនកម្មសិទ្ធិរបស់យើងផ្ទាល់នៅក្នុងអាជីវកម្មក្រុមហ៊ុននោះធ្វើដូច្នេះវាអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យយើងដើរតួដូចម្ចាស់អាជីវកម្មផ្ទាល់ហើយចាប់ផ្ដើមវាយតម្លៃក្រុមហ៊ុនដោយផ្អែកលើសមត្ថភាពនិងភាពរឹងមាំរបស់អាជីវកម្មចំណេញពីដើមទុនដែលបានវិនិយោគ ROIC បំណុលដែលកំពុងមាននិងគុណភាពនៃថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំរបស់អាជីវកម្មនោះការយល់ដឹងនិងជំនឿលើអាជីវកម្មក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលយើងកំពុងវិនិយោគជួយឲ្យយើងអត់ធ្មត់និងមានទំនុកចិត្តបើទោះជាទីផ្សារភាគហ៊ុនរបស់ក្រុមហ៊ុនឡើងចុះខ្លាំងយ៉ាងណាក៏ដោយគាត់ក៏បាននិយាយបន្ថែមទៀតពីបុគ្គលម្នាក់ដែលយើងតែងតែជួបគាត់ក្នុងផ្សារមូលបត្រគឺលោក Mr. Market
The key to Graham's approach to investing is not thinking of stocks as stocks or part of a stock market. Stocks are part of a business. The people in this room own a piece of a business. If the business does well, they're going to do all right as long as they don't pay way too much to join into that business. The stock market is there to serve you and not to instruct you. And that's a key to owning a good business. So volatility is a huge plus to the real investor. Ben Graham used the example of Mr. Market, which is and we've used it. I've copied it in the report. I copy from all the good writers. And Ben said, just imagine that when you buy a stock that in effect, you've bought into a business where you have this obliging partner who comes around every day and offers you a price at which you'll either buy or sell. And the price is identical. And no one ever gets that in a private business where daily you get a buy-sell offer by a party. But in the stock market, you get it. That's a huge advantage. And it's a bigger advantage if this partner of yours is a heavy-drinking manic depressive. The crazier he is, the more money you're going to make. So you should, as an investor, you love volatility. Not if you're on margin. But if you're an investor, you aren't on margin. And if you're an investor, you love the idea of wild swings because it means more things are going to get mispriced.
លោកបានបញ្ជាក់ថា Mr. Market នេះគឺជាដៃគូពាណិជ្ជកម្មរបស់យើងក្នុងផ្សារភាគហ៊ុនវារៀងរាល់ថ្ងៃមានតួនាទីបម្រើយើងមិនមែនណែនាំយើងនោះទេយើងត្រូវចេះទាញប្រយោជន៍ពីវានៅពេលអារម្មណ៍របស់វាមានការប្រែប្រួលខ្លាំងថ្លៃឡើងយ៉ាងគំហុកចុះយ៉ាងអាក្រក់បើកាន់តែល្អគឺត្រូវ ignore វាហើយផ្ដោតលើតម្លៃស្នូលរបស់អាជីវកម្មក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលយើងបានវិនិយោគជាមួយគោលការណ៍ទី2យល់ពីអាជីវកម្មដែលយើងកំពុងវិនិយោគ
The most important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be right about thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a couple. I met Bill Gates on July 5th, 1991. We were out in Seattle, and Bill said, "You've got to have a computer." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "You can do your income tax on it." He said, "I don't have any income. Berkshire doesn't pay a dividend." He said, "Well, you can keep track of your portfolio." And I said, "I only have one stock." And he says, "It's going to change everything." And I said, "Well, will it change whether people chew gum?" And he said, "Well, probably not." And I said, "Well, will it change what kind of gum they chew?" And not. And I said, "Well, then I'll stick to chewing gum and you stick to computers." I don't have to understand all kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand. But there's thousands of opportunities there. I did understand the Bank of America. And it's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion on a few things. In fact, I've told students if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time. So I don't worry too much about the things I don't understand. If you understand some of these businesses that are coming along and can spot things on, if you can spot on Amazon, for example, I mean, it's a tremendous accomplishment what Jeff Bezos has done. And I tip my hat to him. He's a wonderful businessman. He's a good guy too. But could I have anticipated that he would be the success and 10 others wouldn't be? I'm not good enough to do that. Fortunately, I don't have to. I don't have to form an opinion on Amazon. And I did form an opinion on the Bank of America, and I formed an opinion on Coca-Cola. I mean, Coca-Cola's been around since 1886. There's 1.8 billion 8-ounce servings of Coca-Cola products sold every day. Now, if you take 1 penny and get 1 penny extra, that's $18 million a day. And 18 million times 365 is 7 billion 3 less 730 billion or $6,570,000,000. So annually, $6,570,000,000 from 1 penny. Do you think Coca-Cola is worth a penny more than, Joe's Cola? I think so. So, and I've got about 127 years of history that would indicate it. So those are the kind of decisions I like to make. And you may have an entirely different field of expertise than I would have, and probably much more up to date in terms of the kind of businesses that we're seeing evolve. And you can get very rich if you just understand a few of them and understand their future.
លោក Warren Buffett ហ៊ានប្រាប់ច្បាស់ៗដោយមិនខ្មាស់ថាគាត់យល់ហើយអាចពន្យល់ពីអាជីវកម្មក្រុមហ៊ុន Coca-Cola និងធនាគារ Bank of America ប៉ុន្តែគាត់មិនយល់ពីក្រុមហ៊ុន Microsoft របស់លោក Bill Gates និងក្រុមហ៊ុន Amazon របស់លោក Jeff Bezos ឡើយ Understanding turns speculation into investing គឺជាអត្ថន័យដែលលោក Warren Buffett ចង់ប្រាប់ទៅអ្នកវិនិយោគគ្រប់រូបព្រោះការជោគជ័យក្នុងការវិនិយោគភាគហ៊ុនគឺការយល់ច្បាស់ពីក្រុមហ៊ុននោះប្រសិនបើយើងមិនអាចពន្យល់បានថាអាជីវកម្មដែលយើងវិនិយោគរកលុយបានតាមវិធីណានោះទេប្រហែលជាយើងមិនគួរវិនិយោគលើវាទេ Circle of Competence គឺជាពាក្យដែលគាត់តែងតែប្រើដើម្បីដាស់តឿនឲ្យយើងស្ថិតក្នុងរង្វង់អាជីវកម្មដែលយើងយល់ច្បាស់ពីវាដើម្បីជៀសវាងខ្លាយជាជនរងគ្រោះពេលទីផ្សារភាគហ៊ុនធ្លាក់ចុះខ្លាំងម្ដងប្រញ៉េប្រញាប់លក់ព្រោះតែការភ័យខ្លាចបើយើងពិតជាយល់ច្បាស់ពីអាជីវកម្មដែលយើងវិនិយោគមែនយើងនឹងអាចឆ្លងកាត់ព្យុះភ្លៀងជាមួយភាគហ៊ុនរបស់វាបានពេលផ្សារហ៊ុនដាំក្បាលម្ដងគោលការណ៍ទី3អត់ធ្មត់វិនិយោគរយៈពេលវែង
I'm not recommending that people buy stocks today or tomorrow or next week or next month. I think it all depends on your circumstances, but you shouldn't buy stocks unless you expect, in my view, you expect to hold them for a very extended period and you are prepared financially and psychologically to hold them the same way you would hold a farm and never look at a quote and never pay it. You don't need to pay attention to them. I mean, the main thing to do, and you're not going to pick the bottom, and nobody else can pick it for you or anything of the sort. You've got to be prepared to, when you buy a stock, to have it go down 50% or more and be comfortable with it as long as you're comfortable with the holding. And I pointed out, I think a year, maybe 2 years ago in the annual report, just the one before this most recent one, I pointed out that there have been 3 times in Berkshire's history when the price of Berkshire stock went down 50%. 3 different times. Now, if you owed it on borrowed money, you could have been cleaned out. There wasn't anything wrong with Berkshire when those 3 times occurred. But if you're going to look at the price of the stock and think that you have to act because it's doing this or that, or somebody else tells you, well, how can you stay with that when something else is going up or anything? You've got to be in the right psychological position. And frankly, some people are not really careful. Some people are more subject to fear than others. It's like the virus. It strikes some people with much greater ferocity than others. And fear is something I really never felt financially, but I don't think Charlie's felt it either. But some people can handle it psychologically. If you can't handle it psychologically, then you really shouldn't own stocks because you're going to buy and sell them at the wrong time. And you should not count on somebody else telling you this. You should do something you understand yourself. If you don't understand it yourself, you're going to be affected by the next person you talk to. And so you should be in a position to hold. And I don't know whether today is a great day to buy stocks. I know it will work out over 20 or 30 years. I don't know whether it'll work out over 2 years at all. I have no idea whether you'll be ahead or behind on a stock you buy on Monday morning or the market.
ដូចអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដឹងអញ្ចឹង Warren Buffett វិនិយោគជាមួយក្រុមហ៊ុន Coca-Cola ជាង 37 ឆ្នាំមកហើយបន្ទាប់ពី Stock Market Crash ឆ្នាំ 1987 មក នេះសបញ្ជាក់ពីការអត់ធ្មត់និងទុកពេលវេលាឲ្យទុនដែលយើងបានវិនិយោគ compounding ទៅតាមការរីកចម្រើនរបស់ក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលយើងបានវិនិយោគនោះដោយមិនតម្រូវឲ្យយើងធ្វើការលក់ចុះលក់ឡើងលើ stock ក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលល្អនោះទេលោក Warren Buffett ធ្លាប់បានពោលថា The stock market is designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient ទីផ្សារមូលបត្រជាកន្លែងផ្ទេរលុយពីអ្នកដែលគ្មានការអត់ធ្មត់មកកាន់អ្នកដែលមានចិត្តស្ងប់អត់ធ្មត់ខ្ពស់ Okay, that's it សរុបរួមមកដើម្បីជោគជ័យលើការវិនិយោគក្នុងផ្សារភាគហ៊ុនតាមគោលការណ៍ស្នូលទាំង3របស់លោក Warren Buffett យើងត្រូវទិញភាគហ៊ុនអាជីវកម្មក្រុមហ៊ុនណាដែលយើងយល់ច្បាស់លាស់ពីវាចំណូលចំណាយចំណេញបំណុល branding ភាពប្រកួតប្រជែងក្នុងទីផ្សារហើយធ្វើការរក្សាទុកវារយៈពេលវែងដើម្បីឲ្យទុននោះរីកលូតលាស់តាមការរីកចម្រើនរបស់ក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលយើងបានវិនិយោគដែរប្រសិនបើអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាគិតថាគោលការណ៍ស្នូលទាំង3នេះពិតជាមានសារៈសំខាន់និងមានប្រយោជន៍ក្នុងការវិនិយោគសូមជួយចុច like និង subscribe channel របស់ខ្ញុំផងសូមអរគុណ